Welcome back to Sports Edge. We have moved up in the world. Connecticut Open Tournament Director Ann Worcester joining us. And I had just gotten used to saying Pilot Penn. Now we're two names later.
Catch up, Noah.
So how are things going? You're a month away.
We're 4 weeks out tomorrow, or today. It's very exciting to be the newly minted Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies.
And you've got a lot of top players coming. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we got really lucky this year, and we have yet to name 4 wild cards. So Simona Halep, our defending champion, who was 35 in the world last year when she won the tournament, and nobody had ever really heard of her, has now won 8 tournaments and reached the finals of the French Open and catapulted to world number 3. Petra Kvitova was our champion 2 years ago. Yeah. She just won that little tournament across the pond called Wimbledon.
We have talked about this before, Ann, and that is that women's tennis doesn't have the star power that it once had. You have what is it, 8 of the top 20 players in the world coming now.
So far.
So far, 8 of the top 20. What is it, 3 of the top 10. So those are great numbers. But there aren't really, outside of Serena Williams and maybe Maria Sharapova now, you don't have that great star power in women's tennis.
When women's tennis first came to New Haven in 1998, women's tennis players were on a first-name basis with the world.
Yep.
And we really benefited from that. We had Lindsay and Monica and Jennifer and Venus. And then women's tennis went through a little bit of a rough patch, for sure. And if you didn't have Serena or Maria, there weren't a lot of other recognizable names. I'm happy to say that there are now 10 Americans in the top 100, so that's great for American fans, American media, American sponsors. And if I picked, outside of Serena and Maria, who of course we'd love to have and we'll never stop trying, if there were 3 players I'd want to have in the top 10, it would be Simona Halep, Petra Kvitova, and Jeannie Bouchard.
Right.
And then, of course, 4-time champion Caroline Wozniacki, who's very popular with our fans and probably the most recognizable name with our fans because of her tennis and also, of course, her romance.
Exactly.
Listen, we're 4 weeks out. There's a million things going on. What do you need? Like, what does Ann Worcester need heading into this tournament? How do we help?
Well, we just want to get the word out that we're bringing back the men. We heard loud and clear from our fans that they want to bring back, that they want to see the men again. So on Wednesday night of the tournament, James Blake is taking on Jim Courier, and on Thursday night, Andy Roddick and James Blake.
I want to hear more about the ProAm that you're doing, because people are actually going to get a chance to play with, James Blake, who's a local legend, Andy Roddick, who's an international legend in tennis. Tell me about this.
So it's an hour-long Pro-Am, and it's limited to 12 players. So there's only 12 players on 3 courts with the 2 pros. So you'll be playing with and against Andy Roddick, James Blake, and/or Jim Courier, depending on which night you pick.
All right, so you need some volunteers.
Yes, we could not run the tournament without volunteers, and still recruiting. Everything from ushers to transportation drivers to player services. There's all kinds of opportunities. Plus you get free tickets, free uniform, free food. It's a nice way to spend your vacation if you're still a working person, or a lot of retired people love it too.
How do they get in? What do they do?
ctopen.org. There's a volunteer page, there's Pro-Am information, there's ticket information.
Sounds good, let's do it.
Well, listen, thank you.
See you there.
This went by so fast, but thank you for coming in. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, my
best
pleasure.
of luck to a great event in New Haven.
We'll see you out there, WTNH
every day.
Sports guys.
We look
Can't
forward
do
to
it without you. You're part of the family.
From the time the finals end, we start looking forward to next year's tournament.
All right, you
There
and
we
me
go.
both.
Cool.
See you there.
All right, a lot more work for you, though. We'll be right back with more Sports Edge.